Hit me with that intro, bro.
You want the intro?
I do. Let me have it.
I will give you the intro, Miss Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Baker's Bantering. I got 2 words for ya.
I'm scared.
Welcome!
That's one word.
That is one word.
Okay. Are you going to introduce us?
Welcome to Baker's Bantering. And we are alright!
Okay.
Shout out to the Acclaim.
Shout out to the Acclaim.
Can we introduce who we have
Anyway,
here today?
we got Valerie and Baker over there.
Woo, in the house.
And the house of the hostess.
The hostess with the mostest.
Good one, Mom.
I think that's what he was trying
Jenna
to say.
Nicole Baker.
Thank you, Derek.
And the crowd goes wild.
Wow. This is quite the
And
intro.
we got Hella Cool.
Ellis, hella cool. Okay.
And your sexy man alive.
Derek Allen Baker.
Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, that was quite the intro. Derek, did you notice my shirt today?
Oh, yeah.
Creep it real. Spooky season is upon us.
That's right. Because
I do have pumpkin earrings on too. You can't see them under this under these headphones though.
you mentioned about spooky season. You're right. We are coming into it. Spooky season is coming up. Halloween. Wow. I cannot believe Halloween is coming up.
Okay. Well, we do have a very special guest on this podcast later, our good friend Colt Cabana. So stay tuned for that. But before we get to our friend Colt Cabana, we have a couple of quick topics that we need to run through. And Derek, first, before we get to our big topic, I want to give a special shout out to our girl, Coach Baker. Last week, we did go watch Katy's team play, and they were rock stars, and they won, and it was super, super fun. And
it was super fun.
I just have to say, I am so proud of her. She is living her best life on the softball field as a coach. You can just tell she is having so much freaking fun, and I am just loving that for her. What did you think?
Oh, she's so excited. I mean, the girls get a hit and she's jumping up and down coaching first base. I mean, it's super cool. And that was my second game. I hope to make it this afternoon. And I just love to be there and watch her in her element. And it's just fabulous.
It's so fabulous. What'd you think about it, Derek?
I think it's freaking cool. Freaking cool. I think it's freaking cool for Katy to become the freaking coach.
Coach Baker.
Coach freaking Baker.
Her girls were looking at us, and they're like, oh, my God, you guys look so much alike. She looks just like you. And I was like, no. She looks just like me, ladies. Yeah. Okay? And then Katy's like, yeah, she's old.
Yeah.
Rude.
You are 30.
It's fine. Compared to those little children she's coaching, I
that
am
are like
old.
14 and 15.
Yeah, they're
Calling
half
you
my
old
age.
is really kind of accurate because you are 30 years old.
You are kind of old.
Okay, well, anyways.
Moving on.
Also, football is back, baby.
Yep.
Touchdown!
Unfortunately, our Chiefs did not show up the way we would have liked on the opening night of the NFL season. What do you have to say over there, Ellis?
Nothing. I was just making a snarky little wink and a little ha-ha.
Ellis informed us the day of we recorded this interview with Colt last Thursday, the day that the NFL games came back, and he informed us earlier in the day that he was going to be wearing Lions blue just to honor our Chiefs.
Our
Whatever.
Chiefs. Mm-hmm.
I have a friend at Humana Saturday. His name is Stefan, and he loves Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I like your friend.
Thank you. So, Mr. Devon,
Shout out to you.
how you doing, brother? You and your little friend of yours.
So we all did, well, by we all, I mean the three of us, Mom and Derek and I, we joined a football pool with our Uncle Dana.
Survivor pool.
A survivor pool. I employed my good friend Phil to help me pick my pick
And
of
one
my
of us
team.
did not survive.
And I did not survive because Mr. Posley just told me to pick a team that lost. And had I known, just so you know, Phil, had I known,
I think I survive.
You did survive. You and Mom, you both ended up choosing the
Shout out to
Ravens.
my boy Jared.
Yes, Jared helped with
Thank
your
you,
pick.
Jared. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jared. See you with me. Thank you, Jared.
Okay. So, yes, our friend Jared did help Derek with his pick, and he was successful. And my boy Phil let me down. And I do want to say, I just want it to be noted, had I paid attention, I had a really busy day on Saturday when I made the pick, and I just sent it to Uncle Dana after I had talked to Phil. Had I realized that Phil was having me choose against the Packers, I would never have done that.
Oh.
I would have never done that. But that's what I did because I didn't go back and see who he was really picking against, which is what I should have done. And now I'm out. So you and Mom are the only two alive in this pool still.
But actually,
You're
Derek,
right.
I don't know if you know this. There's only 12 of us. They're family and friends of Uncle Dana. 6 out of 12 survived. 6 people are out. Aunt Vicky's out. Uncle Dana's out. It's
Uncle
you,
Dana's out of his own pool.
you, me, Kyle, Drew, and then his friend Jen from Chicago and somebody else.
Okay, well, you guys have to beat Kyle and Drew.
Well, that
I
is
don't
the
care
goal.
about everybody else, but you have to beat Kyle
Well,
and
that
Drew.
case, I will make a bet. Mommy, you will love this.
Okay.
If we win the poll together, you know what's going to happen to Kyle and Drew?
I have no idea.
They are going to buy me a pay-per-view.
Oh, I'm sure
Okay.
Kyle would happily do
Elimination
that.
Chamber. Drew Rogers will buy me 2023 Elimination Chamber. For Kyle, AEW Double or Nothing 2019. You and I have to survive, baby.
Okay.
Okay,
we'll
you
work on
heard
that.
it here first, Drew and Kyle. There's what you're expected, your Christmas gifts from Derek, for Derek.
Yeah,
I'll
and
gladly,
just-
Oh, no, it's never Christmas. It's for the winner.
Well, you haven't won yet.
there's that.
What were you going to say?
Ellis.
I'll gladly lend my services for a percentage of the final winnings.
Oh, well, I just want to give a shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. Thank you very much. We both picked the Ravens. It was completely independent. I didn't know he picked it. He didn't know I picked it. So, yeah, so 6 people are already down. We'll see if we have to restart the pool later in the year because everybody's out.
Well, I'm still going to keep picking a team just for the purposes of talking about it, even though I'm playing from the dead.
Playing from the grave.
Yes. So,
Okay.
real quick, before we jump into our big weekend topic, I do want to shout out FestAbility is coming up. So if you are in St. Louis or near St. Louis, FestAbility is a nonprofit that I co-founded. It's like Pride Fest, but for the disability community. And it is such a fun event. And this is the first time we are going to be hosting it in the fall. It will be taking place at the Missouri History Museum on Saturday, October 7th, and we will all be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next week, we are going to have my good friend, Sarah Schwagel, on the podcast, and she is going to be talking all things FestAbility with us next week.
Well, I am so excited for that. And you know what else?
What else?
What's going to happen?
What?
During the night of FestAbility, get your tickets now for the WWE Fastlane. I bet it's going to be a really fun event.
Okay, well, they're our friends. Our friends are not going to be
Let's
able to
do
go to Fastlane and FestAbility. So I think they should come to FestAbility.
Which is a free event. Tickets are not required.
Yes.
Tickets are not required for that. Enjoy Fastlane. Also enjoy FestAbility. Same time. So let's have some fun.
FestAbility is going to be a whole lot of fun. It supports the disability community. It unifies, empowers the disability community. And I am so excited for this year's event. I think October is going to be a beautiful time of year to have the event. And we really hope to meet some of you guys there. So if you're in St. Louis, mark your calendars. October 7th, come see us at the Missouri History Museum. And make sure to come back next week to learn all things FestAbility when we have our good friend Sarah on. Now, Mom.
I'm so jealous.
So this weekend, Mom was unfortunately out of town.
I had a great weekend, but I'm still very jealous that I missed this event.
And Derek and Dad and I and we brought our good friends Sam and Allison. We attended the Ascension Charity Classic, a PGA golf tournament. And there were some St. Louis legends there. Derek, of course, got free food.
Best part about that, free food.
I noticed there were brownies.
There is brownies.
We made friends with Trey. Trey was the guy who invited us.
Yes.
He was a lot of fun.
Is he with the PGA?
He is not with PGA. He was organizing the event with the PGA. He actually works for a company that Jack Nicholson owns. And I could be butchering this, but from my understanding, their company works with PGA, Golf Channel, other organizations like that to host these events. So he does work for an event company that specifically specializes in golf events. They might do other stuff, but I think their specialty is golf events. So he was not directly with PGA, but he did invite us on behalf of the PGA. So it was a really fun event. I actually saw my old boss.
Which one?
Becky from Entercom.
Oh, okay.
Now Odyssey. But it was nice to see her. And we got to meet some St. Louis legends. We got to see our good friend Louie.
Yeah, I saw that.
Louie the Bear. You know what
Yeah.
Derek had the audacity to say to Louie about?
I have no idea.
He told Louie that he wasn't his favorite bear.
Who's your favorite bear?
Clark.
Oh,
Derek.
And Louis was offended.
I would be offended.
I was offended
Louis
by
was
you
offended
saying
about
it.
that.
Okay,
Wait,
well-
Clark the Cub?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's messed up.
I know. Isn't that dirty? That is wrong.
So bad.
I know Clark is nice to us, and it's okay. We're friends with him, but you can't do that to Louie. But you know what's funny? So
I don't think that's Louis. I think it's somebody else playing Louis.
that's so funny that you say that. So
It wasn't the real Louis?
it wasn't the real Louie.
Oh, no.
You knew it wasn't the real Louis?
But you know what's also funny?
Yeah,
He
sure.
also told Louie that he likes Fredbird more than him.
Oh, no.
And then you know who it was inside of Louie?
Fredbird?
Yeah. So the guy who was in the Louis costume this weekend was actually the guy who we normally see with Fredbird. But I guess the guy who typically is Louis, he must have been out of town or something. I haven't actually talked to him. But the guy who was there was who typically plays Fredbird. And Derek told him that he likes Fredbird more than him. Which was very funny. And he did text me about it afterwards.
It was pretty funny to me.
It was very fun because when we first got there, Trey shows up on this golf cart, which he then gives us the keys to. And he says, here's your golf cart for the day. Wow. So Dad got to drive us around on this golf cart. And he immediately gave us presents.
I love that part.
I know you did.
I bet.
So-
Looked so
golf
much
cart.
fun. It was a beautiful day, too.
Oh, my gosh. It was a gorgeous day. And it could have easily been, it was September 9th in St. Louis. It could have easily still been 87 degrees. And thankfully, it was 78 degrees. And it was stunningly gorgeous and wonderful. But we get there, we meet Trey, he gives us presents, then we get this golf cart and we drive over, we go to the little like reception area, we get to eat, and then eventually we go out and there was a 7-hole, maybe it was 6, I think it was 7-hole, what do they call it? Scramble. And that's where the celebrities were. So the very first celebrity that we were literally like bumping shoulders with these people because, you know, at a golf tournament, they have the ropes that they, you know, block off everybody and stuff. We were in the ropes.
I know. I noticed you were in the ropes. I was showing everybody in Kansas City. Look, they're inside the ropes.
Yeah. So we were in the ropes, and the very first hole, we're just standing there, just not really sure what we're supposed to be doing, just taking it all in. And then Derek's in the way of Ozzie Smith.
Oh, my gosh. I love him.
So, of course, as he goes by, I have to ask. I'm like, hey, Ozzie, can we get a pic? He was very nice. We met. Ozzie was the only person there with the Cardinals. There was mostly Blues players there other than Ozzie. And then there was one PGA Golf Hall of Famer that was Hale Irwin. So we did get to speak Hale Irwin and Nancy Lopez.
I wondered if that was Nancy Lopez, the gal.
It was Nancy Lopez. She was lovely. We didn't get to interact with Hale Irwin a whole lot, but he was fine. But the blues players were so much fun. So there was Chris Pronger, who's a former blues player.
Dog.
And
is that a good dog or a bad dog?
Yes.
Oh yeah, when I say dog like that, it means like they're like. Yeah.
Oh, because I was gonna say he was.
Oh, he was great.
He was fabulous. Yeah, and actually, Eric built his house here in St. Louis.
Like what?
Okay, well,
What?
Eric did not tell him that.
Yes, he told me
That's
he did.
sick.
Oh,
I didn't know
well,
Eric
he
builds
didn't-
houses.
Well, he was back then, but
Just
he built the
side
house
gig,
that Chris
building
Pronger
houses?
moved into back in the 90s.
Oh, that's
And he
sick.
told him that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I must have missed that.
Hey
Maybe
Chris, I
wasn't
built
around.
your house. What a wild conversation starter. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Well, then there was Robert Thomas and Steve Ott, Craig Berube,
Bunch of
Who's the
dogs.
coach?
and Jordan Cairo was there. Jordan Cairo was not playing, but we did get to meet all these people and we said hello. Dan McLaughlin was there. He was announcing. One of the best parts, which was the highlight for me and I think for Derek, was there was a gentleman, Mike Keogh, there who we've met before when we were down at the governor's office. I believe Dad said he's the lieutenant governor currently, but he remembered us from meeting him at the governor's office back in 2021. And he was so nice and he was so excited to see us. And on the 4th or 5th hole that we went to, he came over to Derek and he's like, "Do you want to go putt?" And
You got to putt?
Oh, absolutely. He's going to show you.
All right, right here, young man.
You go, buddy.
Same read, Hale? Same read?
Let's get the family camera.
Pay
Right here,
attention,
young
D.
man.
Get Ozzy in the background.
There we go. Right here, if you can do it. Great.
Yep.
so Derek got to take a celebrity shot.
No way. How'd
And
you do?
Very good, actually.
Did he sink it?
did you sink it?
Yep.
Oh, we're lying today.
Uh,
Oh, that was so good.
I don't think I'm lying.
Okay. You definitely didn't sink it the first time he touched the ball. I'll
Most
tell you
people lie about their golf scores anyway, so it's fine.
There was no sinking, but but there was fun. But it was very cool. Chris Pronger was right there.
I kind of missed though.
Oh,
Yeah, you did miss, but that's okay.
Till I get the ball in.
Yeah, but Chris Pronger was standing there. I think Rob Thomas was standing there too, and they were both cheering Derek on, and it was just awesome.
That's
and
amazing.
they did not let anybody leave until Derek got his moment in the spotlight, which was very, very fun and very cool.
There you go.
And then we got back on our golf cart and we just drove around on the golf cart in the line with all these people. You know, Ozzie Smith's golf cart's right in front of us and Craig Berube's golf cart's right behind us. And we're just in this line of these people. It was crazy, but it was seriously so much fun. And Sam and Allison had a blast. They were so excited. Allison's taken up golf recently. She's actually been golfing pretty regularly this summer. So she was especially excited to join us.
Speaking of that, we did have fun that event.
Mm-hmm.
That night we do Guys Juarez.
I saw that too.
Yep.
I had FOMO.
I bet you did, Mom. I know you did. We were having a lot of fun. So
I know.
you were having a lot of FOMO.
And all of us, especially me, that have margaritas. That was very special. I did that just for you, Mom.
I know. You said that on Snap, and I was grateful that you were thinking of me. So I appreciate that. I had
Yeah.
a great
You're welcome
weekend
for
too,
that.
but it was a bummer to miss all that.
Yep. Yes. So we did go to Casa afterwards. I am not surprised you had a lot of FOMO because we had a lot of fun. But we had a great event, a great time. After the however many holes of golf, we did get to, there was like a concert. So we stayed for a little while. We enjoyed that. We got to visit with Trey a little longer. I told him whenever there's a golf event back, hit us up, let us know, because we had so much fun and we would love to come back. I did get one person's email address. I told many people about the podcast and invited them on, but I only got one email address, And I sent an email today to hopefully get this person on the podcast, but I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Okay. I
So
guess
that's
we'll have
that.
to wait to be surprised.
But I know if I
That was
succeed, you will all love it. Oh,
It is
and
so fun.
this is the last thing. I did tell Ozzie Smith your story. So do you want to tell your story?
Well, I went to his very last game in 1996 before he retired. I'm a huge Cardinals fan. I've been a Cardinals fan my entire life. I was actually pregnant with you.
With Derek.
Right.
Is
You
who she's
being
pointing at.
Derek.
Me.
But nobody, it wasn't public knowledge yet. And I was in a box with a bunch of Sig-Eps, as I recall. And
Sick.
there you go. And very few wives, but I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going. And I sat in the front row of the box, taking in every moment of the ceremony and bawled. And all of the dudes behind me were like, what in the heck is wrong with your wife, Baker?
She's sobbing.
I'm sobbing because A, I love Ozzie Smith. B, I'm pregnant and you don't know it. So anyway, yeah, I'm a huge fan.
That was an emotional speech. So I had a VHS called Baseball Like It Ought to Be that highlighted the 96 season, and they have like a good segment on that. And as like a 5-year-old, I would cry watching that. Talking about like, the Wizard of Oz and the Yellow Brick Road. It was amazing.
I'd like to see it again.
I have the VHS in my parents. I can grab it for you.
I would appreciate that. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Yeah, so I did tell Ozzie Smith that, and I believe it was his wife, was standing there, and she was giggling too.
That's okay. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan.
And I did make sure we all took a picture with Ozzie at the end because I got a picture of Derek and Ozzie at the beginning, but me and the girls really wanted a picture with Ozzie too. And then after we got our picture with Ozzie, I said, Ozzie, would you take one more picture with my dad, please? And I don't think I've ever captured a moment where dad's been smiling bigger.
Yeah. Cardinal, both of us, huge Cardinal fans forever. And, Ozzie Smith is certainly a St. Louis Cardinals icon.
Yeah, and he was so kind.
And
Just
you got to meet him.
so
missed
nice.
it.
You did miss it.
So now it is time to get to our interview with Colt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Baker's Bantering and our special guest from the other wrestling group called AEW. Give it up, the one and only Colt Cabana.
Eric, unbelievable. Justin Roberts has nothing.
Wow.
You are the announcer of the future.
I think that's the best intro he's given so far.
Yeah, take that, Dom.
Okay, well, speaking of Dom, let me just start here. So I was listening to your podcast, and I was just going through listening to some random episodes from what you've done. I noticed that more recently you've been doing these live shows, but I went back and I was listening to an episode from May of 2022 with Vicky Guerrera, and two things I noticed from that podcast. One, I turned it on, and get this, you guys. The first thing he asked Vicky was, so have you checked out my boy Baker Banter yet?
Yay!
Well, that's pretty cool.
So talk about a loyal friend. That was the first thing he said in that podcast. But then I had never made, okay, so with this whole Baker Banter thing, I am certainly a new wrestling fan.
We welcome all kinds.
I am learning as we go, and I did not make the connection that Vicky Guerrero was married to Eddie Guerrero.
Nor did I until this very moment.
Until I listened to your podcast. And then I thought it was just so interesting because, as you know, we've made very good friends with the Mysterio family as well. And I thought it was so interesting. Colt and Vicky talked about the custody battle because Vicky's first time participating in the big stage wrestling was during the custody battle. Really? And her two daughters, I guess, got involved a little bit too. But she was talking about Dom, and she was just saying how he, even at 8 years old back in, 2003, 2005? I don't remember. But a long time ago. And you tell me, I know you know.
Oh, I know everything about wrestling for sure. But Vicky Guerrero, she is incredible.
But what year was the Dom thing?
But the year of the
custody
thing,
match.
I think it's SummerSlam of, don't know exactly what year.
It was probably 2005. That's when he was 8.
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
2005.
But I was really intrigued by that conversation that the two of you had, and she was talking about that match with Eddie and Ray and the whole thing with Dom, and she was just highlighting that even at such a young age, Dom was a natural in the ring, and I thought that was really cool. So I was happy that was the podcast of yours that I stumbled upon.
Yeah, what a cool.
Started with Baker Banter.
That is
What a coincidence that was. But I think it was because when I first stumbled upon Baker Banter, probably in 2020. When did you guys start on TikTok?
Yeah, it was definitely 2020 when we first connected with you.
Yeah, and you guys might have had 1,000 followers or something at that time. But I think one of the first things was Derek was doing the excuse me. Right, Derek? Did you do that a lot?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Excuse me.
So I just remembered, like, oh, Vicky's my good friend. Here is this, person who seems to be enthralled with Vicky Guerrero. Like, Derek, the TikTok that I saw, like, the excitement in your face just to say excuse me, probably to whoever, probably to your mom or sister. I knew that, oh my God, like I have this power to connect these two people right now through this platform. And I could tell how much fun you were having on TikTok at the time. So for me, that's a very easy thing to do. And probably now, like, from seeing Derek and the family, how awesome this has been for all of you guys. For me, that to be podcasting with Vicky, of course, it's so funny. Like, Vicky has done so much in her career, but for me, the first thing that pops in my head is this now new connection of Derek with the wrestling world, and the Vicky's catchphrase, which is "excuse me." So that's kind of the first thing that popped in my head. And of course, when you podcast, like, no one gives you any rules. You can do whatever you want. It's your show. So that's what I did.
That's pretty cool for you, Colt. My question for you, how do you feel about Dominic Mysterio?
How should I feel about Dominic Mysterio?
That's a good question, Colt.
Why don't we start with that? Derek, you tell me what side I should be on.
I think you should be on Rey Mysterio.
Ray's side.
Mm-hmm.
See, this room is split. Derek is not in the currently cheering for Dom. He likes to see Dom lose.
Ooh.
He is not proud of Dom in the bad boy era that Dom is in, and he does not like to see Dom win. Now, Mom and I, we cheer for Dom all the time, unless he's fighting Ray. If he's fighting Ray, we cheer for Ray, because Ray's the good guy.
Now, Derek, do you want to have a haircut like Dominic?
Absolutely not.
No, okay.
good.
Well, then I hate to tell you, I am with Derek, and I am pro. As somebody who's friends with Rey Mysterio for years now, I've been on many shows with him. I am pro Rey Mysterio, and I am anti Don.
Is that the answer you're hoping for, Derek?
How do you get Rey Mysterio involved? So that's good. Speaking of that, my next question is, how you feel about Dominic right now? Dominic is in the bad boy area with the Judgment Day. What is your thoughts, Colt, about Dominic?
Well, everyone has their bad boy era, Everyone feels it. And I maybe your sister and mom can answer. Has Derek had his bad boy era?
Not yet. I'm not going to.
Oh, I don't agree with that. I think he has it like once a week.
Right.
She's wrong.
I've seen some TikTok temper tantrums that kind of say bad boy to me.
Well,
you did say Happy
wrong.
Father's Day, bitch, to your dad.
What?
I don't think that's very nice.
That's pretty bad boy.
All right. Well, we're going to move on from the Dominic Mysterio conversation, and we're going to talk about Colt Cabana. Can we do that?
Well, I have a question. Speaking of the bad boy era and just kind of how wrestlers go through the ups and downs, I know when you were really active in the ring, I know you've kind of taken more of a behind the scenes role at AEW these days, but when you were in the ring, you played this like funny guy and had a lot of jokes and that sort of thing. And I was just curious, do you guys as wrestlers have a say in what that storyline comes to be? Like, if you know you're good at telling jokes and getting that punchline and that sort of thing, does that mean that you can go in there and be like, well, I'm good at this, so I think I should be this kind of a character? Or like, how much say do you really have over that?
Well, I'll correct you a little bit. I'm still wrestling for AEW. But yes, I am coaching backstage and I do a lot of that. But I'm definitely still active in the world on the independents and AEW. But yeah, I'm like naturally just a fun-loving, happy-go-lucky guy. And I feel even if someone wanted me to like, hey, you got to be the bad guy, like it's so hard for me to do that. So I think it's all about like as wrestlers, we try to find our like natural, like who we are the most naturally in the ring will be the most successful. So like for me, I'm just I like goodness, I like kindness, I like joking around. So I want to portray that character, and that will make me the most successful version of me. Whereas maybe Steve Austin, does like to flick people off and does like to drink a beer, and like that's why he got so successful as Steve Austin, as Stone Cold. And so I think that's kind of like the answer of like, yeah, like maybe they could ask me to be a bad guy, but like the best you're gonna get out of me is having fun and being a good guy.
I knew you were still wrestling. I just know you have also been doing like the coaching and the other things. So you've got a lot going on. But with that, Colt did tell me something pretty exciting, Derek.
What's that?
Do you want to share your news with him? The pictures you sent me?
Oh, yes. So I am trying to start a tag team in AEW with my friend Brandon Cutler. And first of all, I would love your thoughts on what you think of us as a tag team, Derek. And then I'd also love maybe a possibility of a tag team name. Would you like to try to name us as a tag team?
I've got a couple pictures to show you, Derek.
Show me.
So here's Colt and Brandon.
Wow.
Those are quite the outfits, aren't they?
What do you think of those outfits?
Got this like zebra print, blue and yellow thing going on.
Well, speaking of that, my question is actually one of those outfits. Does AEW superstars wear types of gear? It's like any gears to wear? Like,
yeah, we have our choice. We can wear whatever we want. And so, recently Christian, right?
Christian Case.
Captain Charisma, if you will. He's been wearing a turtleneck to the ring.
That sounds hot.
I say I get sweaty in a turtleneck. He probably gets sweaty either way.
So he's kind of hitting his Ron Burgundy point of his career, and
his Steve Jobs era.
Yes, exactly. And so it's his choice. And so it's his choice if that's the gear that he wants to wear. And so as wrestlers, yes, it's a lot, for the most part in AEW, it's kind of our choices, but we're allowed to get creative and become different. And then, hopefully we find the correct costume. So for that, Brandon Cutler, that was called his stooge gear because he was the Young Bucks' stooge and he would wear this big zebra outfit. But now I've been helping Brandon Cutler out on their YouTube show called Being the Elite, which is very popular. And he's been asking me to wear it too. So we've been wearing those outfits together. Derek, I'm really interested in your opinion. And also I'd like a tag team name from you, please.
Well, that's pretty cool. Before we get you the name of your tag team, I got to know the other tag team you have relationship with a Dark Order. Tell me all about Dark Order. What are they doing right now?
Well, the Dark Order. See, I was in the Dark Order for a long time, but now I'm not in it as much. They never technically kicked me out, but I just kind of walked away a little bit. So they've been bad guys. They've been some bad boys, to be honest. I hope that's okay, Derek.
Well, I'm not too worried for that one.
Okay.
Like I was saying, you want to know what their tag team name will be.
You know, I get a safari feel from that.
Okay.
The Jungle Boys. There's already a jungle
There's a
person
Jungle
in
Boy, so you
AEW.
can't do that. But I get a safari feel, like a
mm-hmm.
The Safari Boys?
Before I get into the name,
we're just not gonna. He's. It's still percolating in there,
Yeah.
right?
my next question is Jungle Boy goes by Jungle Boy or Jack Perry now?
Well, now he goes by Jack Perry. And, I think he wants to wrestle by the name. Do you remember his father? Luke Perry?
Luke Perry.
Yeah, he was on 90210.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
That was his dad. And Luke Perry, while being a very famous human being, would always take his son not only to wrestling shows as a kid, but he took him to like this guy's backyard to get trained in Los Angeles when he was 12 years old. And so sometimes when I would go to shows, because I'm from Chicago, but I wrestle all over the world, and I would wrestle in shows in San Francisco and Sacramento and San Diego and Los Angeles. And he would be there as a 16 and 17-year-old wrestler trying to make it, making probably $10. But Luke Perry was always there and was always supporting his son, like whatever he wanted to do. And sadly, we've lost Luke Perry, but it's amazing that Jungle Boy, he's taken on the name, of course, of his father. And I think maybe that's why he wants to do it, because now his character, he's kind of a bad guy, and he's kind of a rebel, and he's kind of like a Hollywood savant. And so it probably makes a lot of sense to use that name while being like a Hollywood cool guy.
Well, speaking of that, I think your tag team name is gonna be Colt. What was your partner's name again?
His name is Brandon Cutler.
Brandon Cutler. Colt and Brandon Cutler, the Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
The Bad Boys. It was changing them a little bit. The Good Boys.
The Good Boys.
Wait a second. These are so far different, Derek.
No, I
Bad
like it.
Boys,
The Good Boys is great.
Is saving.
It's kind of ironic, maybe. We're the good boys, but we do some bad stuff,
Kind of.
It's like a disguise.
Yeah, it's like when you call like a really big person slim or something, or shorty.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Tiny, right.
Speaking of that, you did mention Chicago. Did you return at AEW All Out? I got to know. Did you return?
Well, AEW was just in Chicago. I do some stuff backstage, but I didn't make a return to the ring, sadly. But I'm just waiting for the phone call. Probably the same way that you're waiting for that phone call to be a WWE superstar. I'm waiting for a phone call to get in the ring with AEW.
Fair enough. Speaking of AEW, there's a lot of good talent on AEW. We got to know how much talent in a tag team so far. We do have the Dark Order, FTR, Jay White, Juice Robinson, Buttercup Gold, the Elite, you didn't mention them. Also, the new tag team just came from Ring of Honor to AEW. Tell me about the talent in AEW.
Well, first of all, Derek, it makes me so happy because I know you have a true love for WWE. And I know you know the WWE guys that used to be in WWE or now are in AEW. But when you say Jay White and Juice and you know all of those guys, it makes me very happy. And it really shows what a true professional wrestling fan, that it's not just one thing. Of course, I grew up with WWE too, that you know everybody. So that's amazing for me to hear. And I appreciate that. But yeah. I don't know if you mentioned Aussie Open. They're very talented. They're kind of new to AEW, the two Australians.
Oh, he was talking about them recently, and it took us a solid 5 minutes to figure out what he was saying, but we finally understood that he was saying Aussie.
Gotcha.
and then I was able to find them on the internet when I was trying to figure out what in the heck he was saying when I was captioning a video. But so he definitely knows about them because he was just telling me about them the other day.
They're great. And now MJF and Adam Cole, baby, they've formed a tag team, right?
Yep, which is not my favorite tag team so far.
Yeah, they're a very good tag team. So there's a lot of great tag teams in AEW. Private Party and the Hardy Boys. There it is.
Ellis said, "Are they back?"
They're back, baby.
So what? I know you've been doing like some coaching. What does that mean? Is that like with the younger guys that Derek's talking about that you've been working with, or like what does that entail?
Yeah, so my job is kind of two different parts. One, I work with some of the younger talent, and I help. I've been wrestling for 25 years, so I just have a lot of knowledge that I've gathered throughout the years. And also, when a match is happening, I'll be on the headset and I'll be talking to the director, because the directors, they know TV. Remember, we're on TNT and TBS, so they know how to do the TV stuff, but they're not very familiar with wrestling. So if there's something like, because I've been wrestling so long, if I see someone going to the top rope, I'm going to know, oh, they're probably going to do a splash, from the top rope, or a moonsault or whatever it might be, but the director might not be familiar. So it'd be my job to be like, hey, you're going to want to get a wider shot so you can see this big splash that's probably going to happen. Or you're going to want to get a tight shot on their face because he's probably going to be mad that somebody has done something to him. And a normal TV director wouldn't know these kind of things. And that's why it's almost like I'm a middleman. And so I would be referred to as a producer. So I'm kind of this middleman between wrestlers and television directors, because I have experience in both. And of course, Derek, you would know I have experience in both because you watched me on NBC's The Young Rock. Is that right? You remember that?
I did not watch that yet. Pretty soon I will give it a watch.
Do you know which wrestler? I want you to guess which famous WWF wrestler I played on NBC's The Young Rock. You get one guess. From the 80s.
Who does he look like?
My guess is gonna be King Kong Bundy.
No.
King Kong Bundy?
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound like a compliment.
He was 500 pounds. Oh my
Derek,
God,
I'll give you a
Derek.
hint. It starts with a B.
Mine is King Kong Bundy, or it could be
What are you gonna say?
Randy Orton
No.
Batista.
No.
Okay, good. What if I talked like this? Hey, it's me, the Brooklyn Brawler.
Whoa.
Do you know who that is?
That's Hulk Hogan.
No. I don't
No, it's the Brooklyn Brawler.
Derek, I was the Brooklyn Brawler on The Young Rock on NBC, where I, the Brooklyn Brawler, had The Rock's very first match in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That Chicago accent turns into a New York accent pretty easily, huh?
Right? That's what I'm saying. I play in both parts here.
Well, you did mention the show NBC's The Young Rock. How does it feel to be a part of that show?
It was the greatest. They flew me to Australia for 7 weeks. They put me up in a 5-star hotel. They gave me food. I had a hotel on the beach, and I probably shot about 6 days of television. And other than that, it was just a paid vacation. And everybody, there was somebody who played Michael P.S. Hayes. There was someone who played Triple H. There was somebody who played The Undertaker, and someone who played Mankind. And of course, The Rock. Uli played The Rock. And these guys did such a good impression, on this TV show. And it was a really fun experience. And I got to wrestle because I did a wrestling scene, because the Brooklyn Brawler was The Rock's first match ever in the WWF. And so I did a wrestling scene. So we wrestled in front of like a bunch of like, they would call them extras, people that got paid to sit and watch us wrestle and perform. You got to watch it, Derek. You got to watch it.
Oh, we got to look that up. I want to see that, D.
You'll have to check it out so the next time we talk to Colt, you can give him a review.
David will check out the Young Rock this weekend.
I have a question. So speaking of your career in television, my mom saw that you have participated and been on Chicago Fire and Chicago PD.
That's
and
right.
I am a huge fan of the Chicago shows. So I need to know what happened.
Did you not see my episode?
We're going to have to look it up.
When was it? I feel like I probably would have seen it, but I don't recall.
Well, I didn't know her. You probably know the girl, Sophia Bush, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it was a while ago.
So it was her last season but I did a scene with her, and you could tell, like, she didn't seem like a happy person on set.
Yeah.
And so it made sense when it was like that season after mine, she was like, deuces. She gave deuces, Derek.
Okay, so I did watch that season, but we weren't doing Baker Banter at that point, so I didn't know you yet. So
Right.
if I would see it now, I would probably make the connection.
And because it's all, it's always on in syndication, every couple of weeks, someone texts me like, whoa, I just saw you on television. So my part in Chicago PD is much bigger than the one in Chicago Fire. I had a really small part in Fire, but yeah, I'm in Chicago PD. I was in the interrogation room and they were interrogating me, and it was really fun. It was really fun. And I as much as I love being a wrestler, I also love doing acting, and I'm part of SAG, and I support the strike that's happening, and so no auditions now, but we're hoping for better not work conditions, but just there's so much pay to the top of the food chain that maybe they could sprinkle a little for the working actors.
Sure, of course. How did you get involved with that? I mean, I know you're from Chicago, so maybe you have some connections that way, but how did that come about?
Yeah, I live in Chicago, so I'm a working actor, so I have an agent, and I get sent out on auditions, and I've been doing that for probably almost 15 years now. And so I've just been in a lot of weird things over the years. I was in an episode of Marin, which was on IFC based off Mark Maron's podcast. If you look it up, Derek, you would really like this. I wrestled on the Chris Gethard show. It's on YouTube. I wrestled John Hamm. We wrestled in a ring and in a match, and he was in a sumo suit.
John Hamm's a big actor that's from St. Louis.
That's right. He is from St. Louis.
He is.
Just like Evan Bourne and Randy Orton.
That's right.
Yeah.
My good friend, Evan Bourne, who was my roommate. I lived with Evan Bourne.
You knew Evan Bourne?
Now he wrestles with AEW as Matt Sydal. But Evan Bourne, is at one time we lived in the same house together. We were roommates, and he loves St. Louis and Emo's Pizza.
Oh,
Wow.
Now we know he's an OG.
Derek had some leftover Emo's Pizza for lunch today.
I have emails for lunch today.
Let me tell you what happened at lunch today, okay?
Okay.
So I heat up my food. My producer's over here laughing because he witnessed this. I heat up my food. I had this like pasta meal prep that I had prepared. And Derek comes over with a spoon, wanting a bite. And then I see him, and he's like, I could tell, he's like, oh, that was really good. And he starts to walk away, and he goes and he grabs like a little ramekin out of the cabinet. And I knew exactly what he was doing with this ramekin. He brings it back over to the table like I'm going to give him some of my food. And I'm like, oh, I'm not giving you my pasta unless I get a piece of that pizza. And he was appalled by that idea. And I'm like, bro, I have a portioned meal that I have created for myself. What makes you think I'm going to give you a whole ramekin full of pasta for nothing in return? And it took him a solid 3 or 4 minutes until I finally just took a piece of pizza off his plate and said, bring the bowl over here, before we determined what was going to go down. But that's what he tried to do.
Derek,
He just wanted me to give it to him.
I'm going to sit here and say, Derek, you were correct.
What? Colt! Colt! Don't do this to me.
Because that Emo's Pizza is so much more valuable than just crappy pasta. Are you kidding me?
No. I disagree. My pasta was better than the pizza, I'll have you know, because
No.
the pizza was a couple days old. It was just heated up in the microwave.
Speaking of the pizza, I have a question for you, Ashley. What you are going to choose? NXT No Mercy, Mustafa Ali versus Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship at NXT No Mercy. What is the right answer?
Derek, I thought you were going to ask me about Chicago pizza.
I thought he
I
was
did
too,
too.
Colt. And that's what we should ask you. Next time we're in Chicago, where do we need to eat deep dish? What's the spot?
No, I have to answer this question because Derek made sure didn't want to know my pizza answers.
Okay, well, I want to know your pizza answer.
Okay, Derek, I'll answer your question first. Mustafa Ali is a Chicago boy himself, so I cheer for him. Is that the right answer?
Yes. Call Cabana.
And then when it comes to deep to thick pizza, because my favorite is a place called Pequod's. It's pretty famous in Chicago. Pequuods, Pequod's. But I don't know if it's exactly deep dish Chicago style, right? It's kind of like thick pan. So my favorite deep dish would be Lou Malnati's, but the Chicago style, the true Chicagoans don't really like the lasagna pizza. We like true Chicago, which is called tavern style, which is thin and crispy.
Really?
And my favorite is a place called Barnaby's in it's in the north suburbs of Chicago. Barnaby's Pizza is the GOAT, and I recommend it when you
Lou
come.
Malnati's many times.
Of pizza and Chicago, Survivor Series, WWE Survivor Series will be in Chicago.
That's right.
My question for you, Colt, are you make appearance at WWE Survivor Series?
Derek.
I got to know.
He's got to know. He's got to know. And he asks the hard questions. And that's why he's the #1 podcaster in St. Louis. I respect it. Now, Derek, yes, WWE is coming to Chicago for Survivor Series. But for the past 4 years, AEW has also been in Chicago the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I'm hoping that AEW continues that tradition. I assume we will. And I will not be appearing in Survivor Series, but I will be at AEW in Chicago because I am contracted and that is my boss, and they pay me money to show up there.
Derek.
Fair.
Derek, what I was hoping he was going to say is, will you be available if we make it up there for the weekend to have pizza with us? That's what I was hoping to hear.
Derek,
right?
are you making the trek up that weekend?
We are hoping to be in Chicago that weekend, but I didn't know about AEW being in Chicago on Wednesday, so maybe we'll have to make our plans a little longer and try to come see both while we're there. That would be cool.
Derek, I would love to meet you. I'd love to eat pizza with you. I'd love to bring you to the Pro Wrestling Tees store, which is in Chicago. Probably where you got that T-shirt, right?
I think you gave him that one.
No, I bought it.
Oh, you bought that.
No, I bought it for him for Christmas right after we met you.
At ProWrestlingTees.com, of course. And we have a shop there. We'd love for you to come and hang out.
That would be super cool to go up on Wednesday. I don't like Thanksgiving dinner anyway, so I'm good to go have pizza on Thursday.
Yeah, we could have deep dish instead. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving food is pretty good. I am the big mashed potatoes and stuffing and the turkey guy. Speaking of that, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
I love, you said potatoes, but you didn't say sweet potatoes. With casserole and the sugar and the cinnamon.
The marshmallows.
Derek, do you like Boston Market?
I never tried that before.
No. Ooh.
I'll have to take him. There's one by my house, but I've never been.
The sweet potato casserole at Boston Market is so good. Derek, you would love it. You would love it.
Maybe this weekend I will just try it out.
Should give it a try.
When I was listening to your podcast with Vicky, one of the things I heard you say that while you were talking to her, and this is something that we deal with too, is when you have haters on the internet, you choose to mute them instead of blocking them.
Correct.
Why is that the choice? And I want to know more about why you do that.
Yeah, sure. Well, I feel in wrestling, right? It's something that we get a lot, but I feel I am affected. When I read something negative about me, it makes me sad, and I feel that if someone is saying something, they're looking for that reaction, and when you block them, they know you're blocked, and they feel that they have some kind of satisfaction of they've done the thing to make you feel a certain way, so they have success. But if you mute them, they can say it, they can continue doing it. You give them no satisfaction of acknowledging them. You don't even know that they're doing it. So it's like, it's not even in my brain space. And I just continue with my life, not even knowing it's happening. And if that person wants to, constantly tweet negativity towards me or people that I love, that's their choice. I don't even know it's happening, out of sight, out of mind. And it's not really bothering me. But once you give, there's people that know that that there are people that will block you, and then fans on the internet make a game of it. They're like, they want to see how many people they can get to block you. And so they just are constantly like they wear it as a badge of honor that they can get blocked by some famous person, because they know that that person has seen it. And to them, that fame, it's cool that someone who is famous has seen them and acknowledged them, right?
Because for us, it's like, if that's what you're going to say and that's what you're going to keep saying, like, I just don't need to see it. I'll take that ability away from you. And then I see what you're saying. I've never thought about it like that they get that satisfaction from knowing that they're blocked by us. But it is something that we try to kind of, protect our peace, if you will. And especially Mom, the haters, Mom had a hard time adjusting to us getting hate on the internet. It was something that I knew came hand in hand with the more people that know you, the more people that are going to have something negative to say as well. And I knew that it was something that we were going to, in order to be successful, we were going to have to deal with it. But now it's one of those things that will just, if there are specific words that if people say, they'll get blocked automatically. But for me, it's just like kind of out of sight, out of mind. Like, I'd rather just not have to even allow my mom to be able to read that rude comment you just said than let them still have access to our content.
Yeah. What you guys are doing is very important. Derek, what you're doing is very important. And you're a personality. You're a born entertainer. And it's like, we need to see, humanity needs to see you entertaining the masses. And you're amazing at it. And you're an inspiration to so many people. And I can only imagine the number of people, Down syndrome or not, that you have inspired. You guys are doing a wonderful thing, and it's definitely needs to be out there in the world. And I think so many people appreciate it. But everything, there's not one thing that someone isn't like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as you keep that in mind and you remember that, and you're able to like check yourself, and I do that for wrestling all the time. I wish everyone loved my wrestling style, my personality, but and when I see a comment, I do get sad, but then I put myself in check and go like, well, I don't like everything. I'm not going to be this abrasive or mean or even say anything, but that's the difference between me and some of the people. And then if you think to yourself like, oh, these people are all not like, they're not real. They're not people that we would meet on the streets and have a conversation with or have breakfast with. They're a different type of people. And then I, also as someone who's a big advocate of mental health and stuff, it's easy for me to go, not like you are the meanest. I go, oh, you need help.
Yeah.
And someone who does that on the internet, they need a lot of help, and they're very sad. Those people are very sad, and they're very helped, and I feel for them, and I wish they get the help that they need. I'm not going to fight them in a battle of words. I'm just going to say, I wish they get the help that they need.
Yeah. I have kind of grown to understand that when I think those sorts of ugly comments towards the kids says more about the person typing them than it does my family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, I unfortunately was not able to attend, but I do want to talk about the first time that Derek and Mom and Dad got to meet you and backstage at AEW and just how awesome that was. I would like you to kind of reflect on that experience.
I can't even tell you. I was blown away. I mean, I had no idea what to expect. I'm not a content creator. I'm not a journalism major, right? I'm just the mom. And I mean, everybody was so warm and embracing, and just truly lovely humans. I mean, just that we met the nicest people, and we're so grateful to you, really, Colt. I mean, you were our first friend in professional wrestling, the way I see it.
He was.
And you were just so amazing and kind to Derek, and I'm just so grateful for that. And we had so much fun, and I know if that had been it for us, that one experience with you, but backstage at AEW, like, what kid could not be happy with that experience for the rest of his life? And I just think Derek was, living out his dreams in those moments, and it was amazing.
And that was what was going on in my head. It was just like, and then it's so nice, it's so nice that you're also, you were able to move your platform, and that Derek was able to make friends with, and being a cricket commercial and stuff like that, right, Derek?
That is true. That is true.
And so, I mean, that was, to be able to, because I knew to watch, and again, at this point, I don't think you guys were that big, but just to see the passion of pro wrestling in Derek's videos and everybody trying to move it away from wrestling, but every conversation went back to wrestling, because you know what? I was like that as a kid, and I know Derek's not a kid anymore, but that's all my brain. Like I understood that. And I was like, I felt with Derek that like everything related to wrestling for me. And I see that it does for you too. And so, to be able to be the person that can make this happen. I love my position of wrestling, that I could do this for, it's not hard. It costs me $0 to invite you back and give you an experience I know if I was a 16-year-old and someone did it for me, would blow my mind right at that point in my life. And it's not hard to do it. And I try to do it a lot. And I saw the passion in your videos, Derek, of how much you love wrestling. And I knew this was something that would blow your mind. So at first I wanted, and if you remember, I sent some of those videos, like I wanted to get some of the wrestlers you probably knew, Cody and Christian and Jericho and Vicky, to kind of like, so you could be like, oh, this is legit. These are the wrestlers I know. And, hopefully then like slowly introduce you to some of the other AEW wrestlers, some of our stars like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Colt Cabana.
So was wrestling always the end goal for you if you grew up a huge wrestling fan too?
Yeah, I was obsessed with, just like Derek, I was obsessed with pro wrestling, and it's the only thing I ever wanted to do is, and so I fought hard. And my brother was a cartoonist as a kid. He used to draw all the time. And my brother is the director for Family Guy. And I used to obsess with wrestling, and I became a professional wrestler with WWE and now AEW. So it's like two kids that just had weird dreams, and we pursued them and we made it.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Well, speaking of that, I have some more questions for Mr.
Okay,
Colt
great.
right here. Colt, it is true, backstage was super fun, but I got to know, you guys have AEW DVDs. How many AEW DVDs you guys have? 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. How many you guys have?
Well, do you still collect? The DVD business is kind of fading away. Do you still collect DVDs, Derek?
I do.
Oh, he does. And every time I post a video about
WWE.
him collecting DVDs, people are always like, he can get it all on Peacock. And I'm like, he's got Peacock, guys. He's got Peacock. He wants as many physical DVDs as possible. So recently he has been on this AEW kick. He's been showing me these AEW DVDs that you can buy on eBay.
Yeah, but one of them was $130.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not paying $130 for one DVD.
Okay, Derek, I know this is an off-air podcast conversation, but I'm very close with Pro Wrestling Tees and Shop AEW, and I'm going to see what DVDs we have in the warehouse, and I'll send over pictures, and you let me know which ones you need, okay?
Wow, that'd be so cool. So cool.
Maybe we can come see it when we go up to Chicago
Yeah.
in November.
It's cool. Listen, VHS is like kind of cool now again. And so DVDs is right around the corner where you're going to be the cool guy with all the DVDs.
Ooh, that's true.
I am so excited for that, and I can't wait to have that. My next question, before I get to the last question,
Okay.
Two more.
got to know AEW All In. It was packed at All In.
Was that the one? That was the one in London, right?
That was in London. That's correct, Jen. How many tickets been sold in that Wembley Stadium All In? How many in attendance?
I think we looked it up. I think it was like 81,000.
I think it was over 81,000 people, Derek, tickets sold, which I think is the number one. But this was, one of the biggest shows ever in the wrestling world was
Super cool.
an All In Wembley. And it just happened last week.
Were you
go?
there?
Did you go, Derek?
No.
No.
But were you there?
I wasn't there. I was at home working from home.
Fair enough for that.
So what's your last question there, buddy?
My last question is, I did watch AEW All Out yesterday with Dynamite. How was AEW All Out. They got incredible matches. Tell me all about AEW, All Out. How many matches? Who wrestled there? And what's going on at Dynamite as well.
Okay, yeah. Well, I just came home from Dynamite yesterday. I was in Indianapolis, Indiana, and Dynamite was great, and All Out was great too. Yeah, we had a great pay-per-view in Chicago at the United Center, and then this Wednesday, was Dynamite, and then of course we have shows on Friday, and then on Saturday, we have Rampage and Collision. So there's a lot of AEW wrestling. So every week it's week to week to week, and right now, Adam Cole and MJF and the Young Bucks, they're kind of the hot ticket, and they're doing great, and things are moving along, and we hope everyone kind of tunes into AEW and gives us a shot. I know Derek has a lot of love for WWE, as he should, but we're right at their heels, and it's so exciting that you're so interested, Derek. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, we tape every one of them. All of the AEW are taped every single week, and if we happen not to be home, he makes it up. He finds another time. So,
Derek, I want to show you something. You talked about the DVDs, and I think you have one of these, but this is one of the cool things about being an AEW wrestler is, look at that. I got AEW cards.
Ooh.
Colt Cabana. So I want to make sure I get one of these signed to you whenever I see you, hopefully in November.
That'd be awesome.
Well, that would be freaking cool.
Is that cool?
Colt, I know there was you're doing a new show on Tuesday nights that you wanted to highlight too. What's that all about?
Derek, this might be dangerous if Derek watches these.
Uh-oh.
So every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Central, I am the host of the Super Show. It's at pwtlive.com, and we do like live auctions, and we sell like wrestling memorabilia and merchandise, and it's an auction, so you're bidding against other people watching, and it's really fun. And we always have like Funko Pops signed, a lot of like we have we have AEW wrestlers, but we also have WWE merchandise, and I'm the host, and it's in conjunction with Shop AEW too, so there's a lot of like match worn stuff or match used stuff or like prototypes or different autographs. And so every Tuesday night at 5:30 p.m. Central at pwtlive.com is a real fun time to do some wrestling shopping if you ever want to do live wrestling shopping, and you can get some really good deals and some steals there.
Well, that's pretty cool.
You should check it out, Derek. I think you'd like it.
I might have to take his credit card before he checks it out.
Well, that's pretty cool. Normally, I watch NXT. That lets you.
But that's earlier.
But
It's at 5:30.
Yeah, his show is at 5:30, so it's before NXT. Okay, well, Colt, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today. Is there anything else that you would like to plug, or where can our listeners find you?
Yeah, I'm on the internet at Colt Cabana on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, whatnot, Twitch. Oh, I play video games. Derek, you play Fortnite, buddy?
I do not play.
Okay. I'm on twitch.tv/Colt Cabana. I play a lot of Fall Guys and Fortnite. I like playing kids games. But that's where you can find me. I haven't been posting on TikTok, but boy, do I watch it every day, right? Like a lot of us. So I'm on the internet. That's kind of the best way you can do it. And if you want to support me and buy some like a little figure of mine, you can go to coltmerch.com or prowrestlingtees.com/Colt Cabana. And otherwise, just send a message and interact and say hello.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
No, just thank you. You're just such a nice guy, and we're so grateful for your friendship, and we appreciate you. And, being so kind to Derek. It means a lot to all of us.
And, AEW just started a relationship with Best Buddies. I don't know if you know that organization. I assume you would.
Yeah, we know
Best
it.
Buddies.
Yeah.
Derek
so
doesn't know it, but we've
um,
actually got some stuff coming up with them later this week.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going to say too much about it because he doesn't know about it yet.
Okay.
But we,
Well, I
but
do
we-
now if you guys talk about it now.
But we do have some stuff coming up that we're going to be working on a project with Best Buddies.
Yeah, so I'm going to start up kind of representing Best Buddies Illinois. But I'll tell you what, and this is an off-air conversation, maybe there's something that we all could do with Best Buddies together.
Yeah, we would love that. And the last time AEW was in town, unfortunately, we were headed out of town for WrestleMania, so we weren't able to see AEW the last time they were in St. Louis. But I'm hoping that they'll come back soon, and maybe we can get up to Chicago or something because we need to go see our friends at AEW again soon.
Oh yeah, that leads to one more thing. I
One
had to
more
ask,
thing.
Colt, I gotta know. I look it up on AEW event. I did not see St. Louis, Missouri yet. When AEW is coming to St. Louis, Missouri?
Oh, so we're coming to Kansas City very soon, but I know it's not next door, right?
Yeah.
We could maybe make a trip out to Kansas City depending when it is. We do have places to stay.
It's on a Wednesday. I think it's in October, but I'm not really sure. But you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll talk to the Young Bucks and I'll talk to Kenny Omega and I'll say, hey, Derek needs us in St. Louis. Let's make it happen. All right?
We love
I can do
that.
that
Yeah,
for you.
Perfect.
You
We
let
love that.
Tony Khan know we're ready to see him again.
I'll let Tony know. I think you met Tony, right?
We did. He was so nice.
He was so nice.
It was pretty nice.
I didn't meet him, but I edited the videos of him, so
There you go. Yeah.
I knew he was nice.
Yeah.
I just don't want to throw that out there. AEW coming back to St. Louis yet?
Okay, well, maybe we'll see when they're going to Kansas City.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Colt. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you guys too.
Bye,
Love
Derek.
you too, Colt.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up our good friend, the one and only Colt Cabana. Welcome to Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up.
Bow, 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 bow. Let's talk wrestling.
Yes.
So I do have to correct myself from last week. I said that I didn't think Chad Gable had any children, and that was, in fact, his daughter crying at WWE on Monday Night Raw when he lost to Gunther.
Oh, so sad.
So I want to correct myself. Chad Gable does have a daughter. There's that. Now, before we get to the rest,
Sorry for her.
it was very sad to see her crying like that. So
Me too.
NXT, I would like to know what is happening with my boy Dirty Dom on NXT. Give me an update.
Dominic is actually special guest referee.
He was. I saw that. He was a special guest referee. He had on the white and black and everything.
Was he supposed to be hiding as the referee? Like that was his disguise or something?
Oh, he wasn't hiding. It was
No.
against who were the wrestlers?
Mustafa Ali versus Dragon Lee.
Did he cheat? Did he call a clean match?
He's a referee,
Well, did he
Okay.
call a clean match?
but he did call it down the middle. It was really good, like John Cena did at Payback. Dominic, pretty good referee.
Oh, I heard he had a quick count, a quick 1, 2, 3. No.
Oh.
That did happen.
Instead of a 1, 2,
I was
3.
like, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it was a quick tap. Who won?
Mustafa Ali won.
Interesting.
So my prediction was right.
Well, I'm happy for
Which
you.
one?
Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali versus Dominic Mysterio at NXT No Mercy for the NXT North American Championship.
So is that a match that's already been
Confirmed.
It's already been scheduled?
It's gonna be scheduled. It's going to be confirmed.
So it's a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, it's a prediction. It's Derek's prediction. Okay. What about your girl JC Jane? Tell me about it.
JJ Jade, he was standing in the doorway in a classroom.
Okay.
She said, and I quote, "I am not going to the study hall. I'm going out."
This was this weird NXT thing where they have the classroom settings and stuff.
It's kind of like that, yes.
Okay. I think I'm following.
Tina just said, I'm not going to study hall.
And then what?
I'm going out.
Where'd she go?
And moments later, I was on JC's Jade. And she
Jane.
said, Tina, are you ready? And she said, yeah. And after that, Tina walks out. JC Jade wiping on her. We might see JC Jade and Teen Held to form a friendship. And the following week, Teen Held becomes independent woman. No longer shows you hype women anymore. Becomes independent woman. Fight Gigi Dolan and won the match.
Did that already happen?
That did happen. Yeah.
So Thea Hale beat Gigi Dolan.
Yes.
And you're happy about this?
Stuck.
Okay, perfect. Moving on. I have a question.
What's the question?
So now that Jey Uso is no longer on Friday Night SmackDown, do you think somebody is going to replace him on the SmackDown card?
Well, there's a for people want to see be on SmackDown. I think it's gonna be the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes or maybe Kevin Owens or.
Well, Kevin can't go without Sammy.
That is true. Drew McIntyre or anyone.
So you don't really have a clue yet.
I do not have a clue.
Not a clear path yet.
I see. So you told me that Dad is not loyal to Jey Uso and that you're mad about that. Tell me more.
Yeah, that was a lot last night.
I was pissed.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Okay, so
He's
why?
trying to fire me up, losing my cool, doing all that shit.
Okay, so Dad was egging you on. Dad was trying to rile you up.
He was poking the bear.
He was poking the bear. So
it was
Derek,
poking the bear.
I have a question for you. When Dad does that, and you are fully aware that Dad is intentionally trying to get under your skin, why do you let it get under your skin? Why don't you let it roll up your back?
Good question. He did that all the time. First, he interfered in the matches. That I'm not happy about.
Okay, Dad didn't interfere in the matches from St. Louis, Missouri.
That's ridiculous, and that's wrong. And he thinks Jey Uso is gonna keep my face in. Wrong. That is not happening.
He thinks Jey Uso is going to kick your face in?
Yes.
Okay,
and that's where he's not mad.
Okay, well, you're definitely right that that's not going to happen because you're never going to be in the ring with Jey Uso. So that's valid.
Can I say something?
What?
While you take a breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath, bro.
So what happened was Kevin Owens and Jey were supposed to be partners, and Jey kicked Kevin Owens in the face.
Oh.
And
accidentally.
And Derek says it was accidental, and your dad said, no, that's just what he does. So if you were Jay's partner, he would kick you in the head too, basically. So I didn't see it. I don't know if it was accidental or not. Who were they up against?
The Judgment Day.
Oh. So who won?
The Judgment Day.
Bingo.
What she said.
How'd I know?
There was a farmer, had a dog, and bingo, what's his name?
I didn't even watch it, and I knew the answer.
The Judgment Day always wins. I am sick and tired of it.
Okay, but I really didn't see it. Did it really appear to be accidental?
Yes.
Nothing on that WWE ring is accidental. Occasionally somebody gets
We
hurt.
know that, but there are times where
occasionally it's supposed to be
an accident, and then there's times that Jay kicks Sammy in the face and meant to do it. So I was just curious what it appeared to be.
So in what world does Jay kick Kevin in the face, and why would you think it's an accident?
Did like
that was
Finn get pushed out of the way and Kevin took the kick?
I think Finn moved out of the way and accidentally kicked Kevin.
Okay, so
right.
that's
exactly what happened.
We'll have to follow. Maybe you can show it to us after or later tonight or something.
That's fine with me.
But
that's totally fine with me. But I am sick and tired of my dad right now.
Okay, but remember, your dad's the one who drove you up to the top of the hill to get the payback.
We know that. We know that. He's a great dad. He did that. But This is not all about being a good dad. Do something nice for your son. But he did interfere in the matches. Let's not forget.
Dad did not interfere in the match from his recliner in St. Louis, Missouri.
Listen to me. He did cause people matches. Let's not forget Bobby Lashley beat The Miz, becoming the WWE champion. That's reason of Dad. Also, Bailey lost because of Dad. Now, only one person that really wants to smash the bat is him.
Okay, Royal Rumble 2024. Eric Baker versus Derek Baker.
I got a better idea.
Yard in the card. Card in the yard.
I got a better idea. It will be at the Royal Rumble. It will be Roman Reigns versus Eric Baker. And Roman, I'm choosing you. Smash my low-life father.
My low-life father, by the way. That's what that's.
Sorry, that was so loud.
Okay, Derek, you got to take a deep breath, and we got to move on from this, bro. Let me just say this.
I feel better.
Under no circumstances does Dad have any power over what happens in the WWE ring. Regardless of whether or not he runs his mouth to intentionally try to provoke you to feel some type of way, Dad has no control, zero zip nada, over what happens inside the ring on the TV at WWE. We're moving on from this. Somebody returned to WWE this week. Who was that? Jared told me. Do you know? I think you do.
Do you know?
I know.
John Cena.
No, he's been back. He's been back for a couple weeks.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
back?
He's been back a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm going to have to start tuning in.
We just caught Ellis.
Ellis, if you come with us on the 6th, he might be there.
That'd be nuts.
I think he's going to be there.
Can I wear my jorts?
Yeah, of course. You and Dad could match. Nia Jax returns.
Oh, yeah. Nia Jax did return, yeah.
Oh, did I pronounce that wrong? Nia Jax?
Nia Jax.
Okay.
Welcome back to Nia.
Okay, and you've got something here about Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair that you want to discuss. Tell me more.
Yes. Becky freaking Lynch is stealing the spotlight from Bianca Belair. Reason Bianca have no shears and rooting for Io Sky at Backlash.
Bianca was rooting for Io?
At Backlash, nobody is cheering for Bianca. They were rooting for Io Sky. And Nia's champions, Bianca got booed.
Bianca
Really?
got booed?
Yes.
Dang.
I think she is disposable. I don't think she is, but I feel bad for her
Okay.
because of it.
And what did Becky Lynch do?
And for Becky, I wanted to hear this. Bianca, 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 Bianca. But instead, the WWE Universe wants to share Becky, 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 Becky.
So were they fighting one
Becky.
another?
Just from that, Becky Lynch is stealing the spotlight from Bianca Belair. That's the reason I got pissed.
And you're not happy about that.
Okay.
I'm not happy about that.
Okay.
Okay, well, I know you're not
I
afraid
am
to tell
so
us.
sorry for Bianca Belair.
I wonder if we should buy him an Apple Watch so we can see what his blood pressure does while he's watching this stuff. It's
Good
concerning.
Lord, I know, jeez. Okay, moving on. We're moving on from that. Tell me about Chad Gable's match last night. First, who did he fight?
Imperium.
Again?
Wait, who did he fight from Imperium? Just one person, or was it him and Otis?
Oh, this one is going to be freaking cool. You will love it. 6-man tag match. The Alpha Academy. Shamato Ciampa.
Oh, Ciampa with the Alpha Academy?
Yeah.
He was nice. Ciampa, nice guy.
Oh,
It
so it was
was.
Otis and Chad Gable and Ciampa, and then it was Imperium, which is who?
That is Jenny Vici, Liver Kaiser, and Gunter.
Okay, so Gunther is. I didn't know for sure if he was.
Yeah, he's
There's
one of
3
those
others, or if he was
No.
involved in
There's 2
Imperium.
more.
Okay,
He's got 2 cronies.
so
Who
it
won?
was- So it was his Gunther and his other 2, and then it was Chad
Yep.
Gable and Otis and Ciampa, and
The Alpha Academy and Shamato Ciampa. Yes, you're going to be so excited for this. They won. They won.
Yay!
What's he do?
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it. That is so exciting.
I love ending on that note. Is that the end?
That is the end of our talk about WWE. Let's move on to AEW. But before we do that, congrats to our friends, the Alpha Academy and Ciampa. Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
That is so exciting. Okay, let's talk about Adam Cole and MJF. What is going on with these two? I know that. Update me. Tell me what's happening.
Well, at AEW All Out, they did defend their titles.
Okay, but All Out was a couple weeks ago. What happened with the security guard and the brick wall? You sent me some notes here. Tell me about Adam Cole came to the rescue of MJF. Give me more.
They did defend their titles the other night. They won. Samoa Joe attacked. Samoa Joe shoved MJF, like you just mentioned.
Was this backstage?
It's not backstage.
Did it happen in the ring?
It happened on the ramp.
On the ramp. Okay.
And from that, you were right about this. MJF was a security guard for NXT. And Samoa Joe shoved MJF to the Brick Raw on NXT. I realized MJF was working with WWE before he came to AEW. He was a security guard.
So this whole shoving thing didn't even happen this week? You told me it happened this week.
It did happen.
Well, it didn't happen on NXT then. MJF is on AEW.
That was true. I'm not sure it's 2014 or 2015, but
So there was bad blood in the past.
yes.
Okay.
That's
so,
what you're trying to say.
Okay, so in the past there was bad blood between Samoa Joe and MJF.
Yes.
And then
What
it got brought up
happened last
again.
week?
Yeah.
Last week, Samoa Joe will bring that back.
Is he part of AEW now?
Yes.
Okay, so he brought that bad blood back.
He brought it to
Yes.
AEW.
He shoved MJF like he did before on NXT. Shoved MJF to the Brick Raw on NXT when MJF was working to become a security guard for the WWE. That wasn't in the past.
Uh-huh.
But Samoa Joe shoved MJF again. This time it's not at NXT. This time it's at All Out.
And what did Adam Cole do?
MJF got choked out, and here comes Adam Cole coming aid to MJF.
So Samoa Joe choked MJF out, and Adam Cole came to his rescue.
Yes.
That is what has happened in the past week.
Yes.
All the
exactly.
stuff about the brick wall happened a while ago.
Yes.
He deceived me.
It's okay. Sometimes there's backstories. He's just trying to give you the backstory before he gives you the front story. They've had beef for a while.
It's been ongoing.
Yes, I did send you the TikTok about it. You did not watch that yet.
Nailed. Producer
Okay,
Jenna.
yeah.
So go watch.
Now that we're talking about it, I do recall that you did send me 2 videos, but you also sent me like 17,000 notes about the weekly wrestling wrap up this week. So I only had so much time to go through all of it. I did forget to watch the videos. That's on me. And maybe if I would have watched the videos, this all would have made a whole lot more sense. But
Live and learn,
that's
Jenna.
my bad. I will not make that
Live and
mistake
learn.
again. I do apologize. Let's move on.
Good.
Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara had some beef as well.
Yep.
And what was that?
Well, let's just say Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho no longer friends.
Okay.
Bummer. Bummer for them.
Yeah.
Can we still be friends with Sammy?
But number 2, Chris Jericho is acting like a jerk. So I am team Sammy Guevara.
I love that.
Me too. I'm in for
So
that.
at Great Slam, it will be Sammy Guevara versus Chris Jericho.
When?
Great Slam.
Grand Slam. When is that taking place?
September 20th. This coming week.
Okay, so next Tuesday. Next Wednesday. By the time this comes out, it'll be in 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay, go Sammy Guevara.
Exactly.
Team Sammy.
Go Sammy Guevara to kick That's
Old man's ass.
Freak ass.
He's an old man. He's been around a long time.
Okay, moving on. Roderick Strong. You're not very happy with him.
Nope.
Tell me why.
He's a faker.
He's a faker and a bad friend, is what you told me.
Yes. He's a faker, bad friend. Let's never forget what happened at All In.
Let's not forget.
He called his own friend the AEW World Championship.
Who's his friend?
Former friend Adam Cole. And now he thinks is going to enter the Grand Slam tournament. And I just found out he was faking. That piece of crap, Roger Strong, always do this all the time. He wants to enter in that Grand Slam tournament. Guess what?
Not going to happen, buddy.
He's in the finals.
Oh, dang it. That sucks for you.
So, on Dynamite, it will be Roger Strong versus Samoa Joe. You know what I'm going to win for?
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Samoa Joe. Kick his ass, Joe. Kick his ass. Go fight MJF because Samoa Joe, you're the earnest. You have been in the past in NXT. Do your thing. Pete, you beat the faker. Roger Strong. He deserves this beating. Choke him out.
He deserves this beating.
Choke him out.
Choke him out. He deserves this beating. Choke him out. This is
Okay.
crazy. Okay, we're going to move on. Brian Cage and Adam Page. Do these two have beef? Are they buddies? What's the deal with these two?
Let's just say attack.
Brian Cage attacked Adam Page.
Yep.
That sucks for Adam Page.
All I'm going to say for Hangman and a Page to kick Brian Cage's ass.
Okay, we are in Team Adam Page. Understood.
By the way, I do want to add this. Hangman Page says he's a former teacher and now he's a wrestler.
Yes, if we ever get to talk to Adam Page, we need to remember that he was a former teacher. And Derek thinks this is pretty cool, and we need to elaborate upon that.
It is cool because it means Katy could be a wrestler.
Ooh.
Wow.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be freaking cool, Alice.
Producer Ellis's first prediction.
There you go.
Katy, WWE superstar.
She better start training. Okay.
She better.
Last thing. We should have talked about this last week, but we missed it. But somebody returned it all out that you were really excited about. Let's mention it briefly here.
Lana.
Tell me more.
Lana returns back to AEW All Out, which is really good event. Yes, she did return, and I'm so excited she's back.
Well,
Awesome.
I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. Okay. Well, that is all we have time for today. If you are still here, thank you so much for following along and listening. We hope you loved our interview with our good buddy Colt Cabana.
Yep.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, and we need to start mentioning this, Cameo.
Oh, yeah. Cameo.
Find us on Cameo at Baker Banter. My name is Jenna. That's Jenna with 2 A's _ BEE. Mom.
Baker Banner Mom.
And we've got our boy Ellis over there. Ellis, hella cool. So,
Yep.
one last time, FestAbility is coming up in the first weekend of October 7th. And in St. Louis at the Missouri History Museum, we will be there. We will put the link to the FestAbility website in the description so you guys can go learn more about that. And thank you so much for being here. Make sure you tell your friends if you're enjoying this podcast that they should enjoy it too. And if you're really liking this, you should also leave us a review. That would be very much appreciated. We are having a blast talking to you,
Yep.
and we want to keep being able to do so.
I will take it away from here.
Okay, you go ahead. Let's keep it brief.
Jenna, thank you for that intro about FestAbility on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I want everyone to join us for FestAbility on October 7th. Go check it out, and let's have fun ahead of FestAbility.
See you at FestAbility.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys at
Peace.
FestAbility. Bye.